We're going to sing the Lighthouse. This is the first song that we ever sang after we got saved, first gospel song we sang in the church. I was watching, just bear with me a minute, I got something I want to say before we sing this song. I was watching Brother Marty Ballestero on his devotion last night, yesterday sometime, I think it was. And of course, he pastored a church over in South Bend, Indiana for many years. He talks about that. It's just across the state line, not far from us. We hadn't been in the church very long. We went there on a watch night service and sang at that meeting that night. So we've been acquainted with Brother Ballestero somewhat ever since then. And while I was listening to him, I think it was the Lord that allowed me to have a flashback in my thinking. You know, we came to God and got saved in back in the early 80s. We were in the church for several months, and just a couple of things happened, and not done to us intentionally, I'm sure, but nevertheless, we were hurt. We really were hurt, and our emotions got the best of us, and we didn't have sense enough back then to pray our way through things like that when they take place. And we left the church for a while. We were kind of like Peter when Jesus was crucified. They thought he was dead and gone. Him and all the disciples are sitting around the campfire, and he says, I'm not doing this. I'm going fishing. And what he was saying is, I'm going back to doing what I've always done. I'm going back to being what I used to be. And that's where we were at. Anyway, we were backslid. We stayed out of the church for several years after that before we finally got straightened out. And I had this flashback last night. While we were backslid, we were playing with our band in a large bar over in South Bend somewhere. I don't know exactly where it was at. Anyway, we were doing this song one night that we used to do all the time. I even remember the song. Don't even remember all the words of the song, but the song was Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues, kind of a slow song. We were playing the song, and I kept hearing this voice in the background, and Kat was right there on the bandstand with us, so I knew it wasn't coming from her. And, you know, there's something about apostolic singing. You've been around the church much. It just has a different sound to it than just anybody that just sings. Nevertheless, somebody was harmonizing with me from out on the dance floor while I was singing that song. It was a female voice. And make a long story short, Kat got acquainted with them. We got to talking with them, and they were actually backsliders out of Brother Ballestero's church. Seems like, I don't remember all the details, but seems like maybe she said she had played organ in that church, or was a praise singer, or maybe even was some kind of distant relation to Brother Ballestero. I'm not sure about all that. We got acquainted and didn't get real close with those folks, but went to maybe like a pool party. We played at a pool party at their house. They had us sing this song while we were there. They requested we sing the Lighthouse there with a bunch of sinners standing around. Having said that, while we sing this song, I was thinking, you know, there's something about once you've seen the light, and once that light shines into your world and you've tasted and seen that the Lord is good. We were backslid. We were running away from God. But God used that setting and those people not only to send that same light back into our life to try to show us the way back, but in theirs as well. And I just wanted to say this today before we sing, that it does not matter how deep into the darkness you have gone. Right. It doesn't matter how far you run. Right. It doesn't matter how bad of the things that you've done are. It doesn't matter how much of a mess you've made of it. Even through this song right now, God is trying to send that same light into your darkness to try to help you and show you the way back. Worship the Lord with us while we sing the Lighthouse. Well, there's a lighthouse on the hillside, and it overlooks life's sea. And when I'm tossed, it sends out its light. It's a light that I might see. time, just in time. Thank God I saw that light. It was the light from that old lighthouse. Thank God it still stands up there on life's hill. Thank God for the lighthouse. I owe my life to Him. For Jesus is the lighthouse. And from every rock of sin, He has shown His light around me, that I might clearly see. And I know if it wasn't for the lighthouse, then tell me where would this ship be? Sing it again, oh, now everybody that lives around us, they all say, go ahead, you can tear them down. And they say, we all know the big ships never sail by this way anymore. Can't see no use in that old thing still standing round. Oh, but then my mind still goes back to that stormy night, when just in time, thank God